Namaste. I'm going to try to go over a little bit about Ayurveda and what it is and why I chose an Ayurvedic hospital to help me live a healthier life going forward. So we all know, especially in the States, we all know your modern medicine or Western medicine. There's several different names for it, and that's very common to what we have in the US. There's also some people that have heard maybe of homeopathic or maybe even allopathic. And then there's the Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is it's definitely the full-on, basically natural approach. And they use a lot of herbal remedies, oil massages, food as the things to help nourish your body and get your body in the state that it needs to be so that your body can heal, essentially. And whereas Western medicine, usually you have your, you've got some sort of pain, here's some ibuprofen or something like that, or, let me charge you an arm and a leg for this Band-Aid that I'm going to put on you, right? And Western medicine, it's more of a one-size-fits-most. And here's your possible laundry list of side effects, and that's just not something exactly what I was looking for. And the homeopathic and allopathic are kind of a blend of them. Homeopathic and allopathic are not necessarily exactly the same thing; they're a little different, but they do blend both styles of Ayurveda and modern medicine. So one of the differences that Dr. Vignesh tries to help differentiate Western medicine and Ayurveda is that he says that Western medicine, and they ask the question, how do I add years to my life? So like basically, how do I prevent death? Okay. Whereas Ayurveda, the question that they ask is, how can I make life, how can I add the vitality to my life so that I'm not just adding years to my life, but I'm adding vitality and essentially adding life to my years, right? So that you actually, even though you have these years, you can use them, you can do something with them, you can enjoy them, you can still be mobile, you can still be active, you can still be doing the things you love, instead of, in the hospital on a respirator or something like that. So yes, technically you're still alive, but are you really living? And I think there's, granted, yes, not everybody feels that same way, but, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, what kind of life is that? But I digress. So Ayurveda really focuses on trying to give your body what it needs in order for your body to be able to heal itself naturally, because our bodies have the power of doing natural healing, and our bodies are constantly, we have cells that are dying every day and new cells that are coming up. And so Ayurveda just tries to help promote and give your body a space in which your body can do what it does best. Obviously we have our bodies, we can take in lots of food and we have to eliminate it. And one of the things that Dr. Vignesh also talks about is how our bodies we can eat an infinite number of things, but our elimination is very limited. So we need to make sure that elimination is still happening properly and still doing what it needs to. And we need to probably limit more of our intake so that our digestion can keep up with us, right? So I talked about a little bit about how Ayurveda, they want to add life to your years and not just years to your life, right? So, and a lot of, Western medicine, we have the general, this should work for you, and if it doesn't, you're probably going to get these side effects, and then we'll have to switch you to some other medication or something like that. And then you get to a point where, you know, your doctor might be like, oh, I'm sorry, you have an incurable disease and there's nothing else we can do for you. Dr. Vignesh says that there are not any incurable diseases. He doesn't like that word, or that phrase, incurable diseases. He said there's only incurable people. So for Ayurveda, you really have to be in the proper mindset in order for your body to be healing properly. So, because if you have like negative thoughts and negative emotions, and think about when you go to sleep at night, if you are in a bad state before you sleep, your sleep's not as good. You can't sleep as well. You don't, and so your body, when you do your best healing is at night and when you're sleeping, right? So that's part of the main really big thing here, is that they're really trying to make sure that your mindset is good and that you are ready for the healing process. I can definitely see that if you are not ready for the healing process and you're being more negative about it, and you have all these negative thoughts, are like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work for me, I don't think this is going to do anything, then don't come here, don't do it, because you're right, you're not going to allow it to work for you because you have that mindset. You just need to be open to it, open to receiving it, and do your best to relax, because that's when your body can do its best healing. So let your body do what it does best. That's basically a little kind of summary and a little bit about why I wanted to come to an Ayurvedic hospital. I know some people were asking me, like, I guess what all I got going on. So I have celiac disease. If you don't know what that is, I can't eat wheat or gluten because anytime I do ingest it, when it gets, like, my body basically starts attacking itself, and when it gets to my intestines, my body starts, like I said, attacking itself, and it ends up eating away at the lining of my intestines and the walls, and it can seep out intestinal acid and cause all sorts of other problems. So the best way that we usually try to describe it, just so people understand when we're trying to eat, is that we have a gluten allergy or wheat allergy, but that's not exactly true, because when we take allergy tests, we don't come up allergic to wheat, and it's because we have celiac disease. So it's something that happens internally, and our bodies just start attacking, and it causes a whole mess of other problems. So I've got that. Then I had also gotten COVID twice. I had also gotten the long COVID, which, that I don't even remember how long it lasted. And then I still have some after effects. I've got some memory issues where I used to have like this fantastic memory, could recall things like that, no problem. But now I'm like, I say something and 15 minutes later, I'm like, wait, what did I say? So that's a little bit of a problem. And, but yeah, and my energy just wasn't where it was at, especially after COVID. And, let's see, what else? I've also been having problems with my menstruation cycles because, well, I already had like really horrible cramps and bad periods before, and they're super heavy and like almost to the point where they're debilitating. So when I say, then I'm like, okay, thank you, Western medicine, give me that Midol. But it had gotten worse and more sporadic and unpredictable after the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and after COVID, I feel like the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and then getting COVID, and so it just kind of all compounded. And then also there's been history of thyroid problems in our family, and wanted to make sure that that's okay. All right, sorry, that's a trigger for me. And so yeah, so I hope you will join us on our journey. We're doing our best to record as many days as possible. There will be some days that we may not be able to record due to internet issues, or maybe we're just more tired on that treatment day. I will be having some ghee therapy, and probably vomiting coming up. So during the vomiting day, we're not even supposed to talk. We need to be as quiet as possible. We have to have our head and ears and throat covered, and but they're not 100% that I'm going to do that yet, so we'll see. We'll find out. So yeah, I hope that shed a little bit of light, and if you have any more questions, I will respond in another video. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.